ladies and gentlemen, it is time to preview WWE BackLash. Of course, taking place in San Juan, Puerto Rico this Saturday, streaming live only on Peacock. And while this does feel like a B-level premium live event, while it does not feel as much WrestleMania Backlash as we would normally suspect, I still think this card has really good potential. So there are 7 matches on the card. Let's get right into it. Kicking it off with what I believe will be the opening match of the contest. And the reason why I believe this is because this man either works first or he works last. And I do not think this match should main event Backlash. That being Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Now, the story behind this is, of course, Cody Rhodes needed a partner to team up against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa the night after WrestleMania after Cody Rhodes issued the challenge. Said partner had to be a person that could no longer challenge for the undisputed Universal Championship. That person, of course, being Brock Lesnar after Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar last year at SummerSlam. But before the main event of the Raw after WrestleMania could kick off, Brock Lesnar F5'd Cody Rhodes and absolutely destroyed him, setting up this match and giving Cody Rhodes his first post-feud post-Roman Reigns, and of course he's trying to get back to finish the story and win his undisputed Universal Championship. You guys have heard me for weeks talk about how I believe that Cody Rhodes was not going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, that the American Nightmare was not going to finish the story. Listen, I really like Cody Rhodes. I think he's one of the most over baby faces in all professional wrestling right now. But the fact of the matter is, I do not still believe that Cody Rhodes is world championship material. I do not believe he is the guy to dethrone the tribal chief. And so you look at this scenario. Part of the reason why I do not think that Cody Rhodes is going to win this match is because I do not think the Crossroads is a finishing move that can knock out Brock Lesnar. Very few people have been able to knock out Brock Lesnar, whether it's, of course, a spear by Goldberg or Roman Reigns. Those are really a Claymore by Drew McIntyre. It's mostly been a kick or a shot to the gut. It really hasn't been a finishing maneuver to the head. And that would bring, real semblance, I think, to Cody Rhodes. That would make him a legitimate threat if he were to defeat Brock Lesnar. What I think is a very interesting story here is that Brock Lesnar just squashes Cody Rhodes. And then Cody Rhodes has to rethink everything and has to go back to the drawing board and work his way up. Because I think what we're going to see is a lot like John Cena in 2012 after he lost to The Rock, where John Cena had these championship opportunities. And John Cena had these matches, but Cena was not able to bounce back from that scenario until, of course, he defeated The Rock at WrestleMania 29. Now, do I think Cody Rhodes has the ability to bounce back and defeat Roman Reigns? I do not. I've been on record. I think Jey Uso is going to be the one to dethrone the tribal chief. But, I see a lot of people, again, comparing John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, Extreme Rules 2012. That was an Extreme Rules match. That was not a normal match. The way these two bulls have been going at it, it really does not feel like somebody is going to win this match. So my official prediction is going to be, it's going to be a no contest. It's going to be a disqualification, count out, something like that, to continue this feud, potentially in the Night of Champions into Saudi Arabia next month. Now, the next match I believe that will take place on this card will be for the Raw Women's Championship, even though there are 2 SmackDown superstars competing for this championship. That being obviously Bianca Belair, who is the current champion, against Io Sky. Now, the story here is that Io Sky won a triple threat in the #1 contenders match that also contained Mia Yim and Piper Niven to advance. And of course, Bayley was originally going to be in this match, but with all of the things going on with Damage Control and their potential breakup, Bayley decided to be a nice girl, give it to Io Sky, and now Io Sky has this potential opportunity. I think Io Sky is a future either Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion. I do not think now is the time. I think Bianca Belair and Io Sky are going to have a really good match. I don't think there's going to be a lot of interference from Damage Control. I think Dakota Kai may be out there. I don't think Bayley gets involved much in this match. I think they sort of let Io Sky showcase her ability and her future to be a potential champion, but at the end of the day, Bianca Belair hits a KOD to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And even though, again, we'll see it could be the SmackDown Women's Championship, we'll have to figure out how all those things go with the WWE draft, which I have a theory on that, which I'll get to a little bit later when it comes to Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega. Of course, Zelina Vega, SmackDown superstar, Rhea Ripley, Raw superstar, competing for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next match, we got Seth Rollins going up against Amos. Now, this match was made to get both of these guys on the card. They've had very little to no interaction besides Amos staring at Seth Rollins after obviously the WWE Universe was serenading in Seth Rollins' theme song. Now, Rollins is one of the most over people right now in the WWE. I think there is real potential here for Seth Rollins to become the first ever World Heavyweight Champion at the Night of Champions Premium Live event in Saudi Arabia. Again, Amos just took a big loss to Brock Lesnar, but not all losses are equal. Amos looked very good in that match with Brock Lesnar. I know a lot of people are down on Amos. I've said it before. I think Amos has real potential to be a great giant in this industry. I think he has potential champion written all over him. The problem is he's a guy that you can't really put in a feud because there's so many stars where it's like he just needs to look good in matches against the top of the top, and then he will eventually get there. Again, whether it's been Braun Strowman, whether it's been Brock Lesnar, I think he's got a Gunther match in his future, a Sheamus match, a Drew McIntyre match. Those are the matches that I sort of see Amos competing in. I think these guys have a really good match, a lot better than most people expect. Somehow Rollins is going to do a fantastic move off the top rope to get Amos down. Rollins will deliver the stomp, and Rollins will win clean over Amos as Rollins continues that momentum he has to potentially carrying Monday Night Raw on his back and winning the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. Now, the next match on this list, I'm going to have the Triple Threat United States Championship match between two SmackDown superstars now, the champion Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, and from Raw, the Bronson Reed. We've seen these, iterations before, whether it was at Survivor Series, when it was Lashley, Theory, and Seth Rollins fighting over the United States Championship. And we saw, Rollins have Lashley in a pinning predicament, and Theory then stole the victory. I think there's a real scenario for that to happen again, where Bronson Reed sort of dominates the whole match. Theory kicks him out of the ring and, pins Lashley and retains the United States Championship. I could see the other way, where Lashley spears Bronson Reed. Theory knocks Lashley out of the way. Theory wins via pinning Bronson Reed. So I do think either way here, Austin Theory retains the United States Championship, but I think it's going to be a very fun encounter. Again, these three have gone back and forth over the United States Championship, which I thought before the draft, Bronson Reed had a real chance to win because I think WWE is really high on Bronson Reed. However, with the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther and Imperium going over to Monday Night Raw, that makes the United States Championship now having to be on SmackDown, which might eliminate Bronson Reed from the picture. And I don't see Bobby Lashley winning the United States Championship because I think there's a bigger program in his future. That bigger program involves the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, who, of course, at day 1000 at Night of Champions will be defending the Undisputed Universal Championship. The next match on this list, I have Rhea Ripley defending and retaining her SmackDown Women's Championship against Zelina Vega in a real fun match as we sort of conclude this Judgment Day versus LWO rivalry that started at WrestleMania with Rey and Dom. We saw it in 6-act formation the other night on Raw, where Damian Priest pinned Rey Mysterio in a match that involved Priest, Dominic, and Ripley against Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, and Mysterio. We know the LWO, as of this time of this recording, is going to SmackDown. I think there could be a trade that gets involved there where the LWO, heads off to Monday Night Raw. Maybe Raw sends one of their guys to SmackDown to keep this sort of Judgment Day feud going. Maybe they go back to Rey and Dominic at WrestleMania 41 because I do not think that this feud is over. Just like I don't think Cody versus Roman is necessarily over. Like, I don't think Cody or Seth Rollins, versus Roman Reigns is necessarily over. So keeping those guys separate and away from each other and coming back to them at a potential premium live event, mainly WrestleMania 40, seems to be the move here. But I do think Rhea Ripley does retain over Zelina Vega. She just won the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't see her losing that championship anytime soon. Unless, of course, it is a name change to the championship, which I do think will have the same championship reign. But I think the SmackDown Women's Championship will be rebranded. I think the Raw Women's Championship will be rebranded. So instead of, Bianca Belair being the Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown, she may be, the Women's Universal Champion. Instead of Rhea Ripley having the SmackDown Women's Championship on Raw, she may be the WWE Women's Champion or some other name for that belt. And that's how they sort of, keep the championship reigns going without doing a dumb title swap, because I do not see them doing a title swap. Now, Damian Priest will not be involved in this match. Finn Balor will be involved. Dominic Mysterio will be involved. The LWO will be involved. It will be very fast-paced. In the end, Rhea Ripley with a Riptide for the victory. The reason why Damian Priest will not be involved is because right after this match, he has a San Juan street fight against the host of Backlash, Bad Bunny, who is the most streamed artist right now on Spotify. We all saw what Bad Bunny did at WrestleMania 37, teaming with Damian Priest against The Miz and John Morrison. Now a very different Damian Priest against Bad Bunny in his hometown. Again, very fun, extreme match. The Judgment Day may get involved. LWO may get involved once more. It seems like we're going to get a lot of LWO and the Judgment Day without the Bloodline, in my opinion, being towards the main event. But we all know Bad Bunny is going to win here. I think it's going to be very fun. Going to be a lot of cool spots. But Bad Bunny ultimately wins this match in its hometown of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and gives sort of the LWO a blow-off of victory as they go their separate ways. It looks like for now. And then the main event. Very interesting main event between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle against the Bloodline, that being the Usos, of course, and Solo Sikoa. Now, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn were all drafted to Raw, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do have the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. I'm wondering if they separate those belts, potentially a name change there, and give Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn the World Tag Team titles and give a SmackDown team, the WWE Tag Team titles. That could be coming down the line. But I do think here, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle do win this match by pinning either Jay or Jimmy Uso with a Haluva kick. I believe maybe Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso to sort of, again, blow out that feud. But this Bloodline, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Bloodline and the Uso story is not over yet either, because we have to see what happens when it comes to Sami Zayn, Jay Uso, Jimmy Uso, and their relationship with the Bloodline. We also have to see how Solo Sikoa reacts to the Usos taking the fall after an incredible match. Again, last year we had RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns and the Usos at WrestleMania Backlash, what it was called back then. Just a phenomenal six-man tag main event that saw Roman Reigns pin Riddle for the victory. This year, I think Riddle and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get one up on the Bloodline, so Sikoa does not take the fall, and it leads to the even bigger angle that Roman Reigns cannot trust the Usos, and now neither can Solo Sikoa. And again, storyline development here with the Usos and Solo as they have to deal with the Bloodline issues, as well as the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle issue were still not solved, even though they go to Monday Night Raw. So what I really like about this premium live event is we have a lot of SmackDown versus Raw matches. We have a lot of moving parts due to the WWE draft, and we have, again, interesting stories with the LWO, with Damage Control, with the Bloodline, with Seth Rollins, with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, where there really go either way scenarios, and or most of these rivals, again, LWO, Bloodline, they're on separate brands. So while their story is not going to end at Backlash, they kind of get put on hold by now, and then it will mean even more when they come back together around WrestleMania season next year. So just to recap, I do not have a winner in Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I think it's going to be a disqualification count-out dirty finish type scenario. I do have Bianca Belair retaining the Raw Women's Championship over Io Sky. Seth Rollins defeats Omos. Austin Theory retains the United States Championship against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. Rhea Ripley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship against Zelina Vega. Bad Bunny defeats Damian Priest in a San Juan, Puerto Rico street fight. And then Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle, they defeat the Bloodline in the main event of the show. I've heard that there is, some scenario where maybe Cody and Brock main event, maybe, just because of the hometown pop, maybe Bad Bunny, Damian Priest main event. But I think the Bloodline is the most fascinating story WWE has told in the last decade. They are all over our television. And so for that reason, they get the main event spot. You can slide Bad Bunny in right before it and give Cody Rhodes that Brock Lesnar, that opening match type feel. Because remember, Brock Lesnar was pissed off about being on the opening match card. That was one of the reasons for the heel turn. And we've seen Cody Rhodes kind of go after Brock, but I don't see Cody and Brock being a barn burner 20 to 35 minute match, which is why I don't see it main eventing. I think it even adds to the story even more that they get the opening match of the card. Do you like that clip from the Brand's World Podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World Podcast right here on YouTube.